Experience the epic series that the world is watching and raving about. Catch up or relive the first 3 seasons of Game of Thrones, now on HBO On Demand, and watch back-to-back episodes anytime on your schedule. This year, join the Legion of Followers and enjoy past seasons of Game of Thrones, plus the premiere of Season 4 on April 6th on HBO. Don't miss out. Sign up for HBO and get free access to HBO On Demand.
The F&M chairman appears in court today over the recent seizure of his laptops and cell phone. Government announces an implementation date for national health insurance. Is a security agency spying on Bahamians? Plus, Carifta swimming champs visit Parliament. We've got those stories and a whole lot more tonight. I'm Monique Toot, and NB12 starts now. Topping news tonight, attorneys for Free National Movement Chairman Darron headed to court this morning seeking redress for what they call the violation of his constitutional right to privacy. Cash and his legal team appeared before Supreme Court Justice John Isaacs in chambers for an initial appearance on a constitutional motion. Jasmine Bonamy reports.
After leaving the judge's chambers this morning, Cash, his wife, his lawyers, and a few F&M supporters emerged looking stoic. Last week, Thursday, police seized 2 laptop computers and a smartphone belonging to Mr. Cash, reportedly as a part of an investigation into matters related to the Bank of the Bahamas. Cash's attorney said items were physically grabbed from his hands and taken by the police, who refused to deliver or leave a copy of the search warrant with Mr. Cash. Outside court, one of Cash's attorneys, Carl Bathel, addressed the media, saying Cash's legal team has commenced discussions with counsel for the Attorney General's office. Without going into detail, Bathel said both parties have agreed on a course of action, which they hope will bring closure to what he termed a distressing matter.
I'm happy to indicate that we, in discussions with counsel for the Attorney General's office, and before the judge, have agreed on a certain course of action which we confidently hope will bring closure to this matter and will sufficiently assure the intended plaintiff, Mr. Darron Cash, and all other parties who may have been affected in any way. We've agreed on a framework that we are going to work on to provide that necessary assurance and hopefully to bring closure to this very distressing matter.
The Free National Movement has repeatedly called what happened to the party's chairman a witch hunt. National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage released a statement over the weekend that indicated he is unaware that police had planned to execute a search warrant at Cash's home last week. Outside court today, Cash said as a young man he learned that a nation ought to be a nation of laws. He also indicated that this particular incident has been a life lesson.
This experience has stiffened my resolve to get engaged in public service. And I have seen numerous instances where there are opportunities for us to improve and strengthen those institutions. And once this matter plays out, will double my effort to work to strengthen our institutions, to really make this country a great country, a nation of laws rather than a nation of men.
Bathel also insisted Cash was a law-abiding citizen and is at all times fully prepared to assist the lawful authorities.
I want to reaffirm, as we reaffirmed in court, that our national chairman, Mr. Darron Cash, as a law-abiding citizen, is at all times fully prepared to assist the lawful authorities, and in particular the Royal Bahamas Police Force, in any investigation of any matter.
Cash and his legal team will be back in court on May 14th. Bathel said they hope to complete discussions and have everything set out in a court order. Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Bonamy.
Minister of State for Finance Michael Halkitis has revealed government intends to implement national health insurance in January 2016. His announcement comes more than 2 years after Health Minister Dr. Perry Gomez promised on the election campaign trail that NHI would be implemented within the first year of a progressive Liberal Party government. Halkitis told parliamentarians today NHI implementation requires the support of both government and opposition members.
I'm very pleased to hear and to be a part of this administration that has set a target date of January 2016 for the implementation of national health insurance, Mr. Speaker. I support this wholeheartedly and look forward to its implementation.
NHI consultants are currently in the Bahamas and plan to present a report to government in July. Government signed a contract with Sanagest International, a Costa Rican-based healthcare consulting and management firm, to advance national health insurance. Halkitis said today government spends nearly $100 million to insure just over 15,000 civil servants.
Yet there are many civil servants who do not have the benefit of health insurance, and there are many, many thousands of Bahamians who do not have the benefit of health insurance. That is why I believe national health insurance should be a national priority.
Despite significant investments in a network of 98 clinics and hospitals throughout the country over the years, he says the Bahamas continues to be plagued by a high level of chronic non-communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease. The first Christie administration estimated NHI would cost $235 million annually. Halkitis says NHI is an issue government and opposition must unite to implement.
Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, it is one of those issues where when you speak about it, everybody agrees in principle that it is needed. So everybody agrees, yes, we need it. But in practice, like so many things, when it comes to implementation, we have the intrusion of politics and self-interest. Those things get in the way, and so we had the effort stalled.
Halkitis called the National Prescription Drug Plan implemented under the Ingram administration a meaningful step, noting its members have grown from about 6,000 people to 25,000. However, he says it's not sustainable due to a lack of funds. F&M Deputy Leader Loretta Butler Turner has asserted that the National Intelligence Agency created by the Christie administration appears to have no legal standing, but seems to be engaged in domestic spying on the Bahamian people. While addressing a crowd of supporters at last night's F&M rally, Butler Turner said what the government is doing through the agency is one of the most serious threats to our democracy and to our country since independence. She questioned whether information is being collected for political purposes and then being passed on to the most senior members of the cabinet.
The Bahamian people would like to have the answers to those questions.
According to government officials, the NIA is responsible for collecting and transmitting valuable intelligence to various law enforcement agencies to aid in the fight against smuggling and terrorism. Former Royal Bahamas Defense Force Commodore Clifford Butch Scavella heads the agency. Butler Turner questioned why there was no legislation brought to the House of Assembly to set up this agency.
This agency appears to have no legal standing, but seems to be engaged in domestic spying on you, the Bahamian people. There was no legislation brought to the House of Assembly to set up this agency. What we may now have is possibly illegal.
Speaking about the creation of the NIA in August 2012, Minister of State for National Security Keith Bell said he expected Minister of National Security Dr. Bernard Nottage to bring legislation to Parliament to strengthen the proposed unit, but said the NIA will be able to do some work without any new laws. Last night, Butler Turner said government should be targeting criminals and not spying on the Bahamian people and seeking to monitor everyone's behavior.
Possibly listening on our telephone calls, reading our text messages and emails, gathering information on God knows who, for God knows who or what.
When asked by reporters to respond to Butler Turner today, National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage dismissed her claims as absolutely foolish. He insisted the government is after criminals and is not interested in Bahamians' private business.
And I call you Miss, but what do you say to her accusing the government of spying on Bahamians?
Foolish.
So you're not checking people's emails, texts, and phone conversations?
Please. No, I'm not checking anybody's private business. We are after criminals. Okay? Thank you.